Bring in CNN safety analyst and former FAA safety inspector David Susi. David, you hear Stephanie describing what she's seeing, and it just being almost unbelievable that the deaths in this case are confined to the airplane. What do you think as you're learning about this?
It's incredible again that happened. It obviously took some skill on the pilot's part to make sure that they weren't landing directly on an airplane. I've investigated a couple of accidents in residential areas where the pilot doesn't take that maneuver and ends up landing on buildings and on cars. So that's really a measure from the pilot that took that extra care to make sure that he was landing on an area where there would not be significant damage directly to a specific building. So that's what I would look at first. The second thing that, as Pete mentioned, is the flight control or the flight data recorders and see what's going on there. But one of my biggest concerns is that this airplane, specifically this Citation, is one of the most reliable airplanes. I had the opportunity, the pleasure of working on these airplanes. They're very docile as far as corporate jets go. They're easy to fly. Their landing speed is low. It's a very great aircraft for using for corporate measures. But at this point, again, we don't know what happened. And then the last thing, I'm sorry to go run on so long, but is the fact that the range of this aircraft is about 2,000 miles. So if it took off from New Jersey and was headed to California, it was on the end of its range. Although because there's jet fuel on the ground, I think it still had fuel aboard. We'll have to wait to see what we find out.
That is a significant point. I wonder what you make of reports that there were significant fog and that visibility may have been an issue. How complex is it to make a landing in those conditions?
Well, it's very complex, and this aircraft specifically can be certified for single pilot. So if it was a single pilot airplane and there was only one pilot in charge, it can be a large workload to try to come into a foggy area like that and find a way around it. So it could possibly be that they were flying under the ILS to try to get visibility to see where the airport was and get visible recognition of the airport at that location. So I would suspect that the fact that it was that low would have indicated either a fuel starvation, which I don't think is the case here because they did make a smooth descent, but I would be looking at that as well.
And we understand there are multiple fatalities, but we don't know how many. Is that unusual, David?
It really is, but looking at the extent of the damage to the aircraft, I've done several aircraft corporate jet accidents like this, and it is really difficult considering the level of damage. I don't want to get too morose about it, but to actually identify how many people are on the aircraft. So that may take a little while considering the damage to the airplane.
David Susi, appreciate having your perspective and expertise on.